Lois Griffin might be the mom who makes dinner, plays the piano in church, and tucks the kids in at night. But behind those pearls and polite smiles is a woman who has stepped out on her husband more times than she stepped into a PTA meeting. While Peter's out drinking booze and crashing cars, Lois is out here making choices that would end most marriages in 5 minutes. So, let's pull back the curtain and look at the many times Lois Griffin decided the wedding vows were more like suggestions. The first time Lois cheats on Peter happens in the episode Brian Sings and Swings, and honestly, it's just weird. This one starts with Meg going through a full identity rebrand and telling her family that she's now a lesbian. Of course, Peter is a little too excited about it, and Lois is not buying it for a second.
I'm a lesbian.
Awesome!
Peter, Meg, you are not a lesbian. Meg, you're my daughter. I would accept you if you were gay or blind or retarded.
You guys don't care about me and my struggle! I hate you!
Think you're just trying to fit in by pretending to be something you're not.
She basically says, "You're not gay unless I see proof." And Meg, being Meg, tries to prove it by inviting her girlfriend Sarah over to the house.
It's not a charade, Mom. I am a lesbian. What do I have to do to prove this to you?
Lois isn't moved, and because she cannot just let Meg have her little moment, she decides to show her how it's really done.
Watch this.
To make things worse, Chris is secretly recording from the closet. No idea how he got in there, but you can guess what he's into. On this particular case, Peter never finds out, but judging from how hyped he was about Meg being a lesbian, he would probably just ask for pictures. Either way, Lois kissed a teenage girl who was dating her daughter. That's cheating, and it was wild. The next time Lois cheats is in the episode Bill and Peter's Bogus Journey, and this time, Peter actually finds out. It all starts when Peter helps the Secret Service fix a flat tire on Bill Clinton's limo. Yes, that Bill Clinton. And no, this is not the start of some responsible adult friendship. It's a fat chick party on wheels, and Peter's just happy to be included.
Lower back in a jerking, twisting motion. Ah! Call an ambulance!
Peter throws out his spine and lands himself in the hospital. While he's laying there paying for the consequences of his stupid actions, Bill Clinton shows up and offers to help Peter feel young again. And nothing says young again like video arcades, fast food, and committing minor felonies with the former president.
Hey girl, in a Barbie world, it's fantastic. Come on Barbie, let's go party.
Soon, they're running wild across town like two frat boys who just got their first fake IDs. But Lois isn't having it. After watching her husband spiral into midlife disaster mode with a saxophone playing enabler, she decides it's time to step in.
Mr. President, I need to have a word with you. You certainly are very persuasive.
So I've been told.
Not shaking hands or even talking about his troubling escapades with Peter, just fully cheating. And then comes the twist.
I swiped some money out of Lois's purse. I don't think she'll notice because she's here humping you!
I feel horrible, and I'm so sorry, Peter.
Lois, I learned something today. The side of Bill Clinton the world knows, and then there's the dark crazed side only I know.
Peter is heartbroken, confused, and beat up on how Lois could do such a horrible thing to him. But instead of fighting about it, Lois comes up with a truly unhinged solution.
Do you have someone else too?
You wanna get me laid, Babs?
My mother?
Yeah.
Why?
Let's pause and think about that for a second. Picking your wife's mother as your cheat pass is not even shocking, it's preposterous. Thankfully, it never actually happens, but still. So yes, Lois cheated on Peter with Bill Clinton, and Peter tried to cheat back by aiming directly at her family tree. What a healthy marriage, ladies and gentlemen. Next up is the episode Big Man on Hippocampus, and here, Lois Griffin once again proves that wedding vows mean absolutely nothing to her. It all starts when the Griffins go on Family Feud. Things seem to be going innocently well until Lois spots the game show host and decides it's the perfect time to act like a single woman with a lifelong crush. She literally grabs him and kisses him like Peter's not standing right there.
Oh, this must be your lovely wife.
I've been waiting for this for years.
Peter is clearly shocked, but it only gets worse. After a freak fight-off knocks him unconscious, Peter wakes up with full-blown amnesia. He has no idea who he is or who Lois is, and that's when the door swings wide open. Lois tries to jog his memory. She shows him home videos, dresses to impress, and flirts like it's their first date. At first, it seems like a sweet attempt to win him back. But once Peter starts acting like a bachelor, openly bringing women over to sleep with them, Lois cannot handle it. So, what does she do? She moves out. It sounds like a very reasonable thing to do because she's upset, but this also creates the perfect setup for seeing other people.
No, actually, Glenn, maybe you haven't heard. Peter and I aren't together anymore.
Why?
Oh, it's a long story. You don't want to hear about it.
But listen, I got all this shopping to do. So you want to stop by tomorrow night? I'll just...
Well, sure. That sounds nice, Glenn.
She goes along with every step like she's done this before. What follows is not even subtle.
I think I can make it from here. Whoa! Whoops.
I can't believe we're doing this. Feels kind of right.
I know, it's so weird, right? I mean, it's like...
For her, it's already done. Peter has become a stranger, and now Quagmire is the man she wants to get close to.
It's like this adventure that we're having together.
I mean, it's a little strange. Peter's never coming back to me. It's at least nice to know I'm in the arms of a trusted friend.
But just before the final line is crossed, Peter barges in.
Lois!
Peter?
I got my memory back, and I love you, Lois. I want our old life back.
I don't believe it!
From kissing a stranger on national television to willingly entering Quagmire's bedroom, she proves that emotional distance is all she needs to make a betrayal feel justified. And maybe Peter lost his memory, but Lois, she remembered everything, including the fact that she was still a married woman. There are many ways to disappoint your daughter, and making out with her boyfriend should be at the top of that list. But for Lois Griffin, it somehow becomes just another Wednesday. In the episode Go Stewie Go, the trigger is small but telling. Peter mocks Lois over one gray hair. It's straight up disrespect because he calls her old and says he's tired of how she keeps reminding everyone of it. It's about this time that we meet Anthony, Meg's new boyfriend. For once, Meg has a boyfriend that's not a loser. He's polite, normal, and even better, good looking. Everyone likes him, but Lois likes him more because, unlike Peter, Anthony actually pays attention to her.
I bet you taste like Mountain Dew and Starburst.
That is Lois sneaking at the top of the stairs, staring at her daughter, kissing a teenage boy, and literally replacing Meg with herself in her mind. The next step is subtle but calculated. She sends Meg out of the house with a fake errand.
Anthony, you want to come with me?
Sure.
I'll keep him company till you get back. Goodbye, Meg.
Anthony offers to go with her, but Lois shuts it down. She wants him alone, and she gets it.
Me.
But unfortunately for her, Meg comes back early and sees everything.
Right.
And when Peter eventually finds out, he's very upset but ends up acknowledging the role he played in this whole mess. He blames himself and says he feels insecure because he thinks Lois is too hot for him. No. This was not a misunderstanding. It was cheating. It was blatant betrayal. And the worst part is it was aimed directly at her own daughter. Next up is the episode Lois comes out of her shell. Lois turning 43 should have been a quiet celebration with cake and maybe a few tears in the bathroom. But instead, Peter throws her a surprise party and also surprises her with an insult disguised as a compliment.
You may not be the young filly you were when I met you, but you're still my reliable old plow horse to help around the barn and let the husband horse slap a batch into her now and then.
Peter, that's enough.
After that humiliating speech, Lois disappears for the night and comes back the next morning dressed like she's headed for a college frat party. Peter doesn't question it. Brian, however, sees right through it. She's clearly going through a midlife crisis. Peter, being Peter, assumes she has a brain injury and just rolls with it. Soon, Lois is dragging Peter into laundry room hookups and late night parties.
Well, Lois, I gotta say, I like this new you.
Peter!
They hit the club scene hard. Lois goes wild with energy drinks, mechanical bulls, and a thirst for validation that screams, "I just discovered Instagram." But Peter burns out fast. His back hurts, his eyes are dry, and he's definitely not built for this. Things hit a turning point when Lois becomes obsessed with Justin Bieber. When Justin Bieber has a concert in town, Lois comes up with a plan to sneak backstage and sleep with him.
In here.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not into that.
Well, what are you into?
Pinkberry. I love my job. Yum, 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 yum.
That's first-class cheating. And somehow she makes it past security and ends up in front of Justin.
I'm your mom's friend, Mrs. Robinson.
I don't get that. Is that a reference to something?
Okay, just get your pants off, hon.
Stop right there!
How'd you get in here? Look, I swear, nothing happened.
Right on cue, Peter bursts in like a low-budget superhero and starts beating up an 18-year-old pop star. Because if there's one thing Peter's good at, it's punching teenagers.
Just relax, old man.
What, you think you're not gonna get old? Start acting your age!
No, and you don't want that either.
I was a jerk.
But isn't this what you want?
I mean, every guy who's been married a while thinks he wants a hot young chick. You do make me happy, Lois. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me.
In the end, Peter apologizes for how he made her feel and promises to appreciate her the way she is. It's actually one of the few moments of emotional maturity we ever get from him. Either way, Lois completely lost it. She threw away her dignity, nearly hooked up with Justin Bieber, and made her marriage look like a guest spot on To Catch a Predator. The next episode where Lois steps out on Peter is Into Harmony's Way. And this time, the mystery man is someone we barely get to know, a guy named Larry. Peter and Quagmire start a musical duo and quickly find success. Before long, they're on tour across the country chasing stardom and singing for packed audiences. But that success comes at a cost. Peter leaves everything behind, including his family, to chase this dream.
Peter, I heard you fired Mort. He's the one that got you to where you are today. Peter, I don't like what success is doing to you.
Yeah, well, I don't like what time is doing to you.
That moment, like so many others in this list, is the spark. When Peter emotionally abandons her, she finds someone else to fill the space. We jump forward 2 months. Back in Quahog, it's Thanksgiving and the family's gathered at the table without Peter.
I wish Dad was here.
Peter?
Dad?
Larry, you gotta get out of here.
It's been a great 2 months. Meg, keep painting.
I'm so sorry that I left my family.
2 full months. That's not even a rebound, that's a full-on affair. We never learn much about Larry, how they met, how serious they were, or how the family accepted him so quickly. All we know is that Lois was involved with someone else. She knew exactly what she was doing, and just like that, another name gets added to the list of men Lois cheated with. Lois Griffin has a thing for men named Larry. Apparently, it's a weakness, because in season 15's A House Full of Peters, she ends up making out with a second guy named Larry, and this one is actually Peter's son. It all begins during a girls' night out, where Lois, Bonnie, and Donna decide to mess with their husbands by prank calling them.
You found Brown?
Hello, Cleveland. This is Michelle Obama. I received all your letters, and I do like your mustache.
I've been doing all your arm exercises.
Those won't work on your fat arms.
Bonnie fakes a radio contest win for Joe, but tells him he has to walk to claim the prize. Joe, the man in the wheelchair. That's just brutal, to be honest. Then Lois takes her turn, but instead of a playful jab, she leans into full-on psychological warfare.
No, my name is Rebecca, and probably don't even know I exist, but you're my father.
How'd you get this number? Don't you ever call here again.
What the hell?
And that's when Lois gets very suspicious and decides to follow him the next day.
What the hell? Peter, what are you doing here?
Shopping. Yeah, I'll take a large sperm, please.
Okay, but hang on. You were a sperm donor?
I figured if I do have a kid out there, I want to make sure they're not giving out my information. They're not supposed to. I signed a form.
Isn't it only fair to let him or her meet you?
With the cat out of the bag, Lois convinces him to sign the release form so any of his donor kids can legally reach out. And they do. Oh, they really do.
Is everything okay?
You look just like...
What's going on? Who's this supermodel?
I'm your daughter. Yeah, I hope you don't mind the drop-in, but, well, we were all pretty excited to meet you.
What do you mean, we?
Katie introduces herself as one of Peter's daughters and then casually mentions she brought some friends.
What do you mean, we?
Hi, Dad! Apparently, the sperm bank treated Peter's donation like an all-you-can-impregnate buffet. Later, during the Griffin family barbecue, Lois meets Larry, one of Peter's many biological sons. Emphasis on son, as in technically her stepson. They decide to go out for some ice cream, and that's where things get really sticky, literally and figuratively.
Larry, are you turned on or starving?
Can't it be both?
Wow, Larry, that was unexpected.
It's gross. I mean, they may not be blood relatives, but emotionally, this is basically Game of Thrones without the dragons. Later, Lois goes home and tells Brian about it. Not Peter, but Brian. She admits that Larry kissed her and that she kind of let him, but then insists it could never happen again.
Bra strap is getting in the way here. I'll just bite it off with my teeth. What the hell?
Look, calm down. He's just giving me a friendly massage. When's the last time you did anything nice for me?
I'm in love with Lois. I knew it the moment we kissed. Is that true?
Peter didn't even know the two had kissed earlier. Naturally, a fight breaks out.
Lois? What'd you do that for? I thought you and him were girlfriend and boyfriend.
The truth is, I liked that he was paying me a little attention, the way you used to.
Yes, Peter does mostly say mean things to her, but does she have to cheat every time that happens? Because in this episode, Lois flirted with her stepson, kissed him, let him massage her on the couch, and even considered doing more, all while keeping Peter in the dark until the situation exploded in the worst way possible. So, now we have to ponder. If your spouse keeps driving you to cheat, maybe it's time to stop blaming the road and just change the damn car. Lois's trail of infidelity continues in the episode Girlfriend, where she does more than just flirt with disaster. This time, her thirst gets someone killed. Things kick off with Lois answering the door and locking eyes with Jamie, a new handyman. And just like that, all brain cells evacuate the premises.
Hi there, young lady. I heard you had a hole that needed to be filled.
Jamie is clearly just there to fix the house, but Lois is acting like he came to fix up her boring romance life. She immediately starts dressing up, flipping her hair, and inventing reasons to keep him around, like intentionally wrecking her own home. And it's not just Lois swooning, Meg is also crushing hard, which means it quickly becomes a mother-daughter showdown. Lois puts on a miniskirt to get Jamie's attention. Meg is having none of it, and Lois, who is married by the way, threatens her existence. Just normal Griffin family bonding. Meanwhile, Jamie is stuck in the middle, blissfully unaware that these women are ready to turn this house into a battlefield just to keep him coming back.
Short skirt is making my legs look long and sexy.
Everything okay?
Eventually, Meg tries to sabotage Lois, and the situation gets out of hand, literally.
I'm okay!
Oh my god, Jamie!
And just like that, the poor guy dies. You would think that ends things, but nope. At Jamie's funeral, Lois meets his twin brother, and she immediately tries to seduce him too. Because nothing says mourning like aggressively sniffing someone's hair 5 feet away from a casket.
Nice meeting you.
Sorry, bro. 3 is a tough number for travel.
Lois might not have technically cheated on Peter, but she came dangerously close. She emotionally invested in another man, flirted nonstop, dressed to seduce, and even competed with her own daughter. All while Peter was out of town. And someone literally died because of it. Lois has done a lot of questionable things over the years, but in the episode A Wife-Changing Experience, her thirst for validation takes a whole new turn and straight into infidelity territory. The episode kicks off with Peter and Lois being honored at a party. Carter even gifts them a brand new car, though it turns out just to be a toy. Later on, Joe accidentally walks in on Lois while she's showering.
It's my fault for overguacking the chip. Sorry, I didn't realize. I'm sorry, I'm leaving!
Now, most people would be mortified and move on, but not Lois. She becomes obsessed with the idea that she turned Joe on, especially after hearing from Bonnie that Joe finally managed to perform for the first time in 9 years. Lois convinces herself that she's the reason Joe was able to do it, and instead of moving on like a sane person, she doubles down.
Lois Griffin, you are adding spice to that marriage.
Lois makes it her mission to boost her own ego by turning Joe on every chance she gets. When Peter turns down her advances, Lois shifts her full attention to Joe, putting on literal shows on her front lawn in tight outfits just to get his attention. Even Quagmire, the town's #1 creep, is disturbed by it and tells Peter what's going on.
What I'm trying to tell you is I saw Lois strutting around your front yard putting on a show for Joe, and he was into it.
He was?
Trust me, Peter, when it comes to I know what I'm talking about.
Peter confronts Lois, who fires back by justifying her behavior as something that helped Joe. But Lois does not stop. She even goes to Joe's house in a final attempt to seduce him, only for Joe to finally push back out of loyalty for Peter. All while married. Whether or not anything physical happened, that was emotional infidelity from every angle. Lois Griffin might act like the loyal wife, but across Family Guy's wild run, she's racked up more affairs than Hollywood actors. Sometimes right in front of Peter. So, how many times has Lois cheated? Enough for it to be considered her second full-time job.